Hello everyone, welcome back to Taboo Talks with Juju and Shay. I'm Shay.
Juju here.
And this episode we are doing how to be unbothered, unfuckwithable. Okay, so protecting, I think we spoke about a little bit about this, we touched on it last week with the spiritual warfare.
Right.
But now we're getting more into more details about your closer surroundings and how can you deal with certain situations and toxic people and stuff like that. So how to just become unbothered. I live by this, okay, because I'm always unbothered no matter what circumstances, situations, or people. So for me, it's kind of easy. I think I've built a lifestyle around it. How do you feel?
It's integrated. I think it's a matter of I've had recent experience copiously. I've had it throughout my life though. Betrayal and whatever negativity comes in whatever form, because it takes all forms. It can take all forms.
Right.
And shunning that and being aware of it. It can come from within your tribe, your clan, your blood family, etc. So it's integration for me now.
Absolutely.
Not that, and we were discussing this a little bit earlier, off camera, because I was borderline, I felt paranoid. And I don't want it to be too obsessive in the opposite direction, in the wrong way. So being hyper diligent as opposed to being hyper paranoid. So I'm learning to just be aware and circumspect, but that's these times anyway.
Right, and that's so true, because I'm glad you spoke about that, because that led me to, it all starts with yourself first. So you're the one that's building boundaries. You're the one that's building resilience in yourself. And like you said, how you said you were paranoid, but you're building that resilience. You're creating boundaries in your circle so you won't have to feel that way. And I feel like it starts with us first. In order to become unfuckwithable and unbothered, you have to...
It's a new Merriam-Webster entry.
Right. You have to create inside out first. You have to, acknowledge, your triggers and your passions, and also who's in your circle, what's in your circle, what circumstances are making you feel this way. So we have to question literally everything in order to find answers.
Yeah, it's a question, not to negate.
Right.
It's not to be contrary, just because there's a whole thing about naysayers and sideline naysayers, people who just sit from the comfort of their phone or whatever and negate. Just because, or for whatever reason, it ain't me, so I can't speak on the reason, but it does happen. Right. And to alchemize that energy. So I said, if I felt paranoid, I would just be hyper aware. I would read more. I would work more, and all of it. I would channel that energy, do something with it. Right. And I'm doing something productive for me. Right. It took a lot of practice, I was more self-destructive in my behavior in past times, so I've gotten better progressively, which I think is the point. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree. Also, how to become unbothered is, park the drama somewhere else. Save the drama for your mama. Okay, like literally. Save it for Oprah.
Like save it for Oprah.
Right.
Don't really. If somebody has something to say about you, that's their problem. I don't really give energy to people that, like you said, the naysayers. I don't give energy to them.
From the sideline. I could have done that, but you didn't do it.
I can't. I don't give energy to the type of people that do that whatsoever. If you talk about me, you're talking about me for a reason. And I say that if you're talking behind my back, then you're behind me for a reason. So I'm going to be on your mind steadily. I'm going to be on your mind constantly, rent-free. By the way, you're giving me all your energy. I'm not giving you mine. I don't pay attention to those people. I don't pay attention to the drama. When I feel like it's something that doesn't serve me, and we spoke about this as well, then it's not for me. And another way is to become unbothered is do not give your energy to everybody. No matter how many years you was in a friendship with somebody, no matter how many, you have to stay loyal to this person. If your energy does not match the situation, then release yourself immediately, because you're saving your peace. You're investing in your peace. Every day, your peace should be a priority. Period.
Multiple times a day.
Multiple times a day.
Because, one is challenged. And if you know, you know. Multiple times a day. And last episodes or a few episodes ago, we talked about your inner thoughts too. And potentially being a self-saboteur. I've been guilty of that too. So it's a matter of like practice, but it's ongoing 24/7, and it's not like you did good for most of a day so you could take a break for a day.
Right.
That is all the time.
Right.
All the time your body is animated, as long as you alive, and energy too.
Right.
But to alchemize the energy.
Right. Right.
It's right down to your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wrote some things down too. I said in my head, don't engage in the struggle, which means if you know a toxic person is around you, distance yourself right away. Don't engage in it, because I feel like toxic energy is a struggle. You have a struggle mentality, you're going to have a struggle lifestyle. I don't struggle. I live a soft life. I live a good life. I live an abundant life.
Amen.
So why would I put myself in a struggle situation with a toxic person, a toxic relationship, a toxic friendship? Why would I put myself in that when I live a soft life? I don't live in struggle. So don't engage in struggle mindset if you want to be unbothered. Period.
Right.
Because if you want to be unbothered. Literally everything is a freaking choice in your life. If you want to be bothered with the bullshit, and I was saying this too, then you're going to. For me, I'm not open. I'm not open, but I am. And we was talking about this. In meeting new people, I was like, you just gotta have to, at this point, do a mental background check. Because
but if you have to do that much, then no.
Then no.
I really say no if I have to do that much.
Right.
It should be organic.
Right. It should be
also
organic.
talks about how it should be easy flowing and organic.
Yes.
You have to pay taxes and you have to diet, all that. You don't have to do much else.
Right.
Especially if it comes to your interrelations, like your relationships with your inner circle.
Right.
Like professionally as well, but it's easier with non-professional, relationships, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
just cut it off.
Cut it off.
Right when you see it.
Cut it off. And I seen Amber Rose on College Hill. She was like, she made a vow to herself because she came up in a toxic environment that one red flag and you're gone. You're
Shout
out
out to Amber.
Yes.
Yeah.
One
I
red flag.
Amen.
And I said, bitch, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
No
This
matter
is
how
not
many
baseball.
years you've been in the friend, no matter how many, like one strike, you're gone. You're out. Because why am I putting my peace through this? For what reason? If I'm not benefiting, for what reason am I putting myself, my peace, my sanity through this? There is no purpose. If there is no purpose, then it's not for me.
Right. And it shouldn't feel like a struggle.
It should not.
It should feel organic, and it should feel. Of course, there's turbulence.
Absolutely.
In life, and energy bumps up against each other, and there's friction. But it should feel like a learning experience that's not like overwhelmingly taxing on you.
Right.
Some things are unavoidable.
Yeah.
But the things that I just find, like when I use my control, I say, what can I control? And then I try to like affect it, improve it. And if I can't, then I give it up. It's if you can do something about it, don't worry. And if you cannot, then don't worry.
Right.
There's no really reason.
Right.
It adds to it. But
absolutely.
Yes,
no,
go ahead.
You're right.
Yeah.
And also, I would say, stop giving a fuck. Stop giving a fuck about what people have to say about you. Stop caring what other people think about you. Who cares? Who the fuck cares what the next bitch think about me? I'm like, if you hate me, okay, take a ticket, sit down, get in line. Because get in line with the other bitches. Because you're not harming me. What you're doing is self-harm to yourself. And you're projecting your insecurities onto me, which is something I have no business in, so I would not indulge.
Right.
I do not care.
Yeah.
Being
That's
unbothered,
yeah.
you just have to not care. I stopped caring years ago. I used to. What she talking about? She's talking about. Oh, they talk about how my back. I don't give a fuck. And I know
I
people
didn't like that shit in kindergarten. Kindergarten, I think I was with the shits actually, but what was it?
What's up with you?
No, I'm saying for real though. Like I feel like maybe middle school and up. No, in elementary school, I was like, all right. I'm good with my video games, Mortal Kombat, Sega Genesis. But I get it. I get like that mentality. But then there's stages and you mature. You're supposed to life is supposed to teach you how to live it if you're lucky enough to live that long.
Right.
And you're supposed to mature like most of like all the other living things.
Right.
So cut the things off that don't.
Yeah, and don't care about what other people say. Don't live your life for other people.
That's true.
Because a lot of us, we tend to get in this mindset where we have to please others, and we caring too much about what the next person is saying about our lifestyle, the way we live, the way we dress, the way we talk, anything. It's not for you to care about. You only should care about your opinions and your opinions only. And your opinions of yourself is all that matters. Bitch, it's all that matters.
Yeah, with the capital T. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like the Plato truth. Yeah, it's true. And if those things were real and they actually inflicted harm on me, like you were saying, the hatred and the comments, if those things actually affected me, I wouldn't even be here in my mid-30s.
Right.
Because that was happening more or less when I came out the womb.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it was either too black or too gay or too something. Mm-hmm. They would have some shit to talk about Mary Poppins, who's practically perfect in every way. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, give that up. It's not even you. It's not yours, and it's not you.
Give it up, Delicious.
Ooh, not Delicious. Oh shoot. Delicious to sing though, more than crazy. All right. Like without even trying. But yeah, give it up. Cut it like a tumor, like a malignant tumor.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like choosing your battles wisely is the thing. You don't have to respond to every toxic thing in your life. Like you said, you were just mentioning, cut it off. Period. You don't have to respond. Everything doesn't need a response. Everything doesn't need your energy. Your energy is sacred. And my therapist told me this. He said, light don't fight, it shines. So do not fight every battle. It's not for you to fight it's not for you to fight every battle. That's how you stay unbothered, when you just like distance yourself, move on. What do you think about that?
Oh, I said A to the men. Yeah, that's it has to, if it feels laborious and if it feels like there's too much friction, but then you don't want to be too paranoid. I try to, I guess I can't emphasize enough how important it is to, if you have a water sign moon, like I have a Cancer moon, try to be aware of that and work with that. Don't let that work against you, because you got a heart, but don't let your heart get your ass in trouble. Because don't let it kill you. You know, that's not productive. So you can be empathic and empathetic to your betterment and everyone else's. Ain't nobody got to suffer, and definitely least of all you. But yeah, so I try to spend most of my time making sure I'm not too forgiving. Because I'm forgiving anyway. Yeah. But it's like, you got to be discerning. Yeah. Like you said, like we say. And a bit judgmental. You have to judge things, not literally, not in a negative connotation, like, making moral judgments. I'm just saying you have to judge whether it's good for you or not. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And make clear your limitations.
Absolutely. Oh,
and your boundaries.
Let's talk more on that.
Oh, goodness. Please bolster your boundary. Bolster the expression of your boundaries. Express that shit. It's really important. Yes. And there are ways to do it that are, because confrontational literally means you address something straightforwardly and head on. So you can address the issue non-confrontationally, not aggressively, just assertively. Right. I got that written down. Yep. That was one of my pointers. Go ahead, talk about being assertive, honey. Listen. And then I can skip that. Assertive, yes. It's the truth, though. I'm the one I should not talk, but yeah. There's a difference, like defensive driving and offensive driving and all that. Like there's a fine line, but there's a distinctive difference. And don't feel guilty when you actually declare your boundaries respectfully and clearly. Yeah. And when I declare mine, because I've been doing it like recently for a while, but like for a minute, for decades, like you, like we've discussed this. I declare it, and I know I'm not offensive, and I know people have done worse with like less content that they had to get off their chest. Right. And if they're the least bit offended when you were completely respectful and you didn't use a profanity and you could have and all this, then it ain't right, because my boundaries are not negotiable. Right.
Oh,
They're
say
my
that again. Say
my
that again.
boundaries are
say
not.
that for the people in the back. Take it up. You gotta take it up.
My boundaries ain't negotiable. Well, yeah, it's a hymnal. It's a spiritual.
Amen.
My boundaries ain't. Harriet Tubman felt that way too. My boundaries ain't negotiable. My limitations ain't negotiable. So this is not even for you. This is for
yourself.
Me to make a declaration to do with this what you will, and I will know exactly what I'm dealing with. But based on your reaction or response, and a non-response is a response, and I know that on both ends.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Getting hot talking about it, but anyway, you have to. But you get my own self high. I got goosebumps. But you have to declare your boundaries for sure.
Yes.
And that's a good way to judge because your boundaries aren't usually not crazy. You know what I mean? Your boundaries are just this is what I'm not going to tolerate.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And they're normally mine are fair. Right. So if you got a problem with that, then bye. That ain't the first time. That ain't the first time. I know you can relate assertiveness.
Of course. I feel like being assertive is like one of the primary sources of self-care. Like, I feel like if you don't put your foot down and stand up for yourself and have a voice, then people will use you as a mat and literally will walk over you. And there's people out there that are looking for people to walk over. Believe it or not, there's evil people out there that rejoices over.
I think they believe it.
Yeah. They.
I think we believe. No, go ahead. I believe.
No, seriously.
Yes. Oh, you're right.
That there are people out here that will walk all over you if you don't have a voice.
That's correct.
So I feel like being assertive is primary self-care, and I learned this later too, because when I was growing up, I just fought physically. I didn't have a voice. I feel like I didn't know how to use my voice to the best of my ability. I had it, but I didn't know how to use it. Right. So growing now and in my 30s, looking now, I'm like, oh, my mouth is literally my weapon. Like, you can't, and it's my protection. So, like, yeah.
Intellectual assassin.
Your words
are
your power. Come on now.
Are summoned for power.
And I didn't know that I learned it later on in life, that words have power, and, like affirmations are important to me and things like that. And also, I know how to tell somebody off.
Amen.
But like I said, I choose to pick my battle. I do not give people energy. I don't give everyone the energy that they want. Some people will pick because they want to see you off your element and they want to see you off your throne.
It's the truth.
And they will never see me off my throne, baby girl.
I've known a couple of people. I've known a few people in a certain time that will remain nameless, and but for whom what do you call it? Combat. Because assertiveness is different, and confrontation is just addressing things straightforwardly.
Yeah, absolutely,
For whom combat is a sport.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that shit.
Right.
I'm not a wrestler. I've never been. I like gymnastics. I like the individual sports.
Right.
Tennis. I ain't got to touch nobody.
Right.
Unless I want to.
Right.
But I'm just saying, there's a difference between playing games and then like playing games that people don't know that you're playing them. Right. And the rules that you're playing. Right. And all of that. Like, I can appreciate a good prank, but when it's like a life thing. No, I'm starting to laugh. No, maybe I'm not articulating it, but would you carry that into other compartments of your life and don't tell nobody about it? It's weird. I don't know.
I see what you mean.
Or I'm just not intuitive enough.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Or not tolerant enough because I'm not.
Yeah.
But
no, I get it.
My thing is I'm all about what do you call it? Informed consent. I was gonna say consent, but it has to be with information. So everyone knows all the terms, and then we consent or not, and either way it's fine. Right. And they ain't got to be all of this and this and this and this. Absolutely. Because I don't get off on getting bickering. Yeah, I agree. I knew someone who was getting more erect fighting.
Oh my God. Physical.
I didn't know him. I knew of him.
Oh wow.
I saw it happen though.
Oh wow.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just saying they're
utmost level.
I didn't mean to get graphic, but it's the truth. It happened. Yeah. And several times in different people.
Oh my goodness.
It was at work though. I didn't choose to hang out with him.
Oh Lord.
But anyway.
But anyway, I think. Well, this is listen, we're recording this, so you'll see everything. This is not a blooper. We'll put this right in.
Absolutely.
But another thing is,
it's the truth. Yes.
I feel like don't share everything with people. So don't share more than you need to know with the people that you don't really trust like that. I know people in the past that will go to the nail salon and tell the nail lady, oh, you're the business. All your business. And then you'll go to your workplace, like you were saying, workplace, and you tell all your employees all your business. Certain things you're not supposed to tell. You're not supposed to tell your goals, your love life, anything like that, because people have bad energy. Yes, you can be protected. Yes, you are protected, but certain things can get through, and people can just use things against you and use what you told them, manipulate it, and spread rumors and do this. So just tell people that you trust.
It's the truth. Your body is a temple and everything.
Absolutely.
And your body, mind, spirit, your entity is and it's sacred. So I've been goofy with in my past. I've been so goofy with the sharing of unsolicited information. It's not offensive. It's just it's sacred information, and I'm just willy-nilly sharing it to people I think I know, and some people I didn't even freaking know.
Right.
So that was decades ago, dear. Yeah. You know, that was decades ago, though, literally. So now you got to pry it out of me. If I don't know you, you know.
If I don't know you, I'm not going to tell you everything, period, because I know some people. And don't tell your insecurities to everybody as well. That's another one.
Oh, no.
Do not tell your
no
insecurities.
No one knows about that. I have none. What do you mean?
Flawless.
I'm Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
Don't talk about your insecurities because they will use it back on you. They will... and I'm saying literally loved ones, not like nobody else. Your insecurities between you and God, okay? Amen. So that should not, don't ever tell, because people will literally, there's people out here, like I said again, that will use them against you. So just keep everything to not everything to yourself, but just keep the sacred things to yourself. Have a journal. You know, journal your thoughts, journal this, journal your insecurities, journal how you feel. Right, it's very important. And yeah, this was a good effort. This was very informative, guys.
I felt the fire.
Giving you the best stuff we got.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
I was gonna do a sample, but nope.
Go ahead, girl.
Absolutely not. I'm not paying Miss Baker. And also, she could sing her behind off, and I'm hoarse right now. So okay, is it laryngitis? Okay. It's not, by the way.
Well, delicious concern, honey.
That's true. She had some tea earlier. I didn't have my tea. That's just a mocktail. I can do with you.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning
so much.
in. Thank you for tuning in to us. Don't forget to
like, comment, subscribe down below, or hush _podcast on IG.
Yes, definitely.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.